Oh, what is up, everybody? It's a brisk one today in Oneonta, New York. Let's make sure this bus is not going to hit me. But it's a brisk one. Me and Karma walking. We got more Iowa release data. Oh, but what did we see? What did we see? We saw a lot of theatrics in the last couple days regarding impeachment, the State of the Union, and you could say that WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, has nothing on modern day politics. That's just how I feel. I mean, when I have to sit there and watch Mitt Romney invoke God and his deep religious beliefs when it comes to voting for impeachment against the president, I can't help but think that it's a total and complete farce and joke. Complete farce and joke. When Nancy Pelosi, who gets snubbed, rightfully so, by the President of the United States of America, with no handshake, takes his speech and rips it apart. And that's what the media focuses on. I mean, I literally think that she's about to cut a promo with Mean Gene Okerlund and Bobby Heenan. I know that shows my age. I should have said Stone Cold Steve Austin or something else, or even that would probably show my age, right? I don't know any of these people. I don't watch pro wrestling. I watch politics, which is just as good, if not better, and more entertaining than pro wrestling. Thumbs this up. For instance, you got a guy like Bloomberg, who's completely on the peripheral, completely unelectable nationally. And what's he doing? He's cutting commercials for big gay ice cream. You think I'm making that up? Type in Bloomberg big gay ice cream commercial. I mean, my goodness. Where are we, America? Where are we when the big news isn't what's really going on with the economy, what's really going on with foreign policy, the fact that big tech companies are openly working together and sharing data with one another via the Ring app, and spying and tracking and tracing and databasing everything you do, building profiles, and all of that information is completely vulnerable to the NSO group software like Pegasus and others that I just reported on last night in the wee hours of the morning, if you haven't seen that video. You know what else they're not reporting on? Instead of theatrics, they could be reporting on Rand Paul and his 11 plus minutes of glory yesterday at the impeachment hearing. Now, that's a Rockfin exclusive. I played the entire thing, but just so everybody knows, Rand Paul looked at the entire group of people there, and he didn't make it about Republicans or Democrats, conservatives or liberals. He said, look, Edward Snowden may arguably be the biggest whistleblower of our times, right? Of our times. And he goes, half of you here wanted him dead. You wanted him dead. And then he says, you know what the other half wanted? And he wasn't referring, again, to liberals, conservatives, Republicans, or Democrats. No, he said the other wanted him in prison. Notice that? So he didn't play team baseball there. He said, listen, you guys don't want protection for whistleblowers. What are they blowing the whistle on? And I pointed out John Kiriakou. And I pointed out the silence of Congress and Senate when it comes to the plight of Julian Assange and how important that is. Okay? And I've talked about the executive power that's further been given to this Trump administration. That is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Thumbs this video up, 68 watching, 19 thumbs up. I mean, how many people here know that Rand Paul actually printed out the question on a large billboard that Chief Justice Roberts refused to read on Friday, refused to read, and that while he did that, he made those comments about Snowden. And he showed the differences in what a real whistleblower gets as opposed to a fake whistleblower. He showed the hypocrisy in that everybody says they don't know who the White House whistleblower is. Yet everybody seems to know who this whistleblower is. Okay? But again, You didn't hear that on MSNBC. Instead, what you're hearing is, we love Pete Bootlicker. He should be the front runner for the President of the United States. We love Bootlicker. We can't get enough Bootlicker. We tried to sell you Joey B. We tried to sell you Grandma Oatmeal. And now, for the next attempt at an establishment candidate, let's go with Pete Bootlicker. And I told you what Bootlicker was there for. Bootlicker is this well-groomed establishment type that checks boxes like, well, I was in the military. Well, I mean, come on, you're a Rhodes Scholar, you're an Ivy Leaguer, you joined the military kind of as an afterthought to get you into the intelligence community, so you could be in naval intelligence, Pete. I mean, you can red, white, and blue it all you want, but the truth of the matter is, the only veteran that I'm concerned about in this election, as far as in a positive manner, is obviously Tulsi Gabbard, right, Karma? Tulsi Gabbard and her campaign hope to shock the world in New Hampshire. I hope that she shocks the world in New Hampshire, despite the fact that, they're going to try to keep her out of the next debate again. Somebody like Bloomberg, who can buy his way into the Iowa caucus, who they'll change the rules for, because he's an establishment piece of filth, right? Cutting promos for big gay ice cream and how great that is, right? He plays right into this WWE politics stuff. He wants your guns. He's not apologetic about it at all. And he's the alternative billionaire platform. 90 plus watching, 30 plus thumbs up. Let's get those thumbs up. So if you want to see both Romney be an establishment snake and really betray the Constitution, admit right there that no high crime or misdemeanor was committed, but he just believes because the president did bad things that we should impeach him and we should just go with that. And his God is going to judge him. Do you really think that Mitt Romney is the kind of guy that is like devout to his religion? Do you really believe that? It's the same thing with Trump. I said the same exact thing. The same criticism could be made. I'm like, do you think that Trump's done a 180 and all of a sudden he's the biggest Christian you've ever seen? These guys are pro wrestling. That's what they're there for. Okay? Yep, Karma's doing pretty well, right? She's sniffing around. It's cold out here, but not too cold. Almost baseball season, right? Springtime will be here, and then the boys of summer will be back here in Oneonta. But, again, guys, I can't reiterate enough how it's always really been pro wrestling, and that guys like Joe Biden are lifelong establishment puppets, and that's why when Bill Barr was being voted in as the Attorney General under George H.W. Bush, okay? George H.W. Bush. There wasn't even a vote. The yays had it. Biden stood up there and told everybody how Bill Barr was so respected and he was the best thing since breakfast. And if you don't think that that same network still exists to some degree, and that all we're seeing is a bunch of infighting and control of the narrative, you're way off. There are no superheroes on message boards. You shouldn't be trusting any plans, and you should be holding this president's feet to the fire when it comes to what's going on in Syria, the OPCW leaks, Julian Assange, and so much more. But people have really forgotten that, and that's unfortunate as well. Instead, they're going to focus on the theatrics of a demon like Pelosi ripping up papers, right? They're going to focus on the theatrics of the Republican Mitt Romney, the former presidential candidate, having to sway against Trump, so the left will have their talking points for the next, election cycle. And that's it, right? Into November. So guys, thumbs this video up, subscribe and share if you are new to the Burmish Brigade. Remember, over at rockfin.com/Jason Burmish, you're getting 5 exclusive videos a week at $9.99 a month. Make sure you hit the endorse button on my page, and then you get access to everybody's content. It's kind of like a digital creator-based Netflix where they're recruiting people in the wrestling, BJJ, MMA, and free-thinking media world. So definitely go check that out. If you want to financially support me, I got the GoFundMe. That's how we get Karma, that CBD, the fenbenzidol, the vitamin E, and the turmeric curcumin. It's with your guys' help. I love you, and I will see you all on the flip side.